Hello, and welcome to another day of TA the Degen way. And price has pumped up into the 29-30K target area, but unfortunately just not in the way expected. And as such, we have a brand new potential swing failure pattern that is showing up on our chart. And even though price came up there, it was certainly not in a way that was expected. If we look back at some of our earlier projections, they happened to work out quite nicely, but we're certainly not traded that way. Bitcoin ready for another bounce on October 3rd. And where were we looking for it to top? On about 10.15. You know, today's 10.16, but we got some super bearish signals that we'll talk about that caused a jump the gun situation to the short side that led to a stop loss. What happened here if we broke below this level? We would have a break of structure. And what happened? Let's press the play button, which is why I like these Trading View Ideas pages. We broke structure, and as such, this was a legitimate short to try to short the retest of the break of structure. And price came up to our 28K resistance level and rejected and broke structure, and it even broke trend. We had a trend coming up here, but what happened? Price came up to exactly where it should have. Right smack dab in the middle of the golden pocket is where it's closing, and we did wick all the way up to the 30K mark, but failed to put in a higher high. If we look at our chart just past that, which was also on October 3rd, BTC ready for another bounce. And then we have BTC ready for another move on the same day, just a different version of the same thing, just zoomed in a little more on the hourly. Following this curvature, we are looking to target this support and resistance flip, and we want to talk about this 29K area, 28,950 level. If we press the play button, see we broke this trend. We needed to hold this break of structure on the daily. And as such, this was a very nice short, the retest of this. And when we came back up for it again, retesting the high of this seemed pretty legitimate until we, computer doesn't want to zoom correctly, all the way up until we started getting this nice curvature in the price action, big green candles. Then we bullishly retested the reclaim of that trend, and then we got fake news and ripped to the upside. But look at where price came back, wicked all the way back down, and then we pushed back up and bearishly retested this support and resistance flip, but from the bottom side, giving us swing failure pattern. And if we come up to our latest chart for our current trading idea, that is already well underway. Looking at these large ranges here, we have a large upper range, a large lower range, exactly the same size. We've split this up into equal portions. I live in the middle of nowhere. If you listen carefully, you'll hear coyotes yelping in the mist. But we have daily swing failure pattern. Where did it end? Right at the middle of our upper range. And what happened? We wicked back down, textbook style, into our lower range, right below the support and resistance flip. And if we come down to the small time frames, we're looking for price to now come up and bearishly reject off of this support resistance flip now that we're on the underside. And if we look at just the close prices, we got nice curvature here where time and price are square. We definitely have solid divergence on our oscillators, so as such we're looking for some kind of an ABC move. I keep thinking I'm on the regular chart and can zoom in the normal fashion. While we're on this ideas page screen, which is a little different, you can always go down and press the share button and click make it mine, and it'll bring it into the edit. Well, I've got too many charts open already, but it'll bring it into the editable form. We'll pop over to the here we can zoom in correctly. There we go. So we are on the daily, and what do we have? Nice clear swing failure pattern, and price came back up and is bearishly rejecting, and as such we should be targeting the bottom of the range, looking at about 27,500, 27,400, and then we should be looking for a long trade off of support. This support resistance flip here was resistance. Here it is support. And this is on the daily chart. If you're looking for significant levels to take trades off of, these are significant levels. And if you look at your ranges, price, your large, more macro ranges, I'll say medium ranges. The macro range is much larger, but you got this upper range and you got this lower range. Price is ranging inside here, ranging inside here. We go over to the left, we ranged inside here, broke below the range, pushed right back up into it. Here this was our support, was resistance. Here it was support, here it was resistance. These are key levels that are respected quite well. And, we've wicked back below one. Clear swing failure pattern. If we pull up our oscillator, I'm using Market Liberator because it's free. Nothing wrong with Market Cipher. Maybe it works a little better, maybe it works a little different. My guess is they're relatively the same, but what you're not getting is you're not getting the Crypto Face Market Cipher Discord, which my guess is of value and what you're really paying for, being that you can find an extremely similar version to his multi-indicator on about 100 different websites. And I'm sure the proprietary version probably is slightly different. Maybe it works slightly better. I am of the camp that they all probably work about the same, but you're not getting that Discord. Much like our own Discord, which is free, which you're welcome to join. There's a link in the description where I'm posting my daily trading as I'm going through these trades, what I'm looking for on smaller time frames, other setups that I see throughout the day, along with some of the other folks in there. Plus, we have our TradingView idea page, CryptoFile 622. You can just search for it, CryptoFile 622. And if you like this content, I suggest you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. For this kind of analysis, you should come into our Discord and learn how to do these things yourself. But I'm looking for some kind of an ABC correction. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, an impulsive move to the upside, which is very normal, and typically followed by a ABC retrace. But here we did break structure, and I'm going to say that this is a serious sign of weakness. And you have to remember that this pump came. We broke this support resistance here, if we come down to a smaller time frame, before the fake news. Did the fake news help pump the price? Well, sure it did. It did the same thing that news always does. And what does news always do? It propels price in one direction or the other into the nearest liquidity pool, the nearest significant level that has enough, liquidity to cause a reversal. It just speeds up the process. I mean, this year is pretty textbook, but here, here's where we broke our structure on our 5-wave move to the upside. We broke structure, we bearishly retested, and we rejected hard. We ranged, we bearishly retested and rejected hard. We came up to it again, and we retested it on the top side and bounced hard, pulled back, and then we got our fake news pump and rocketed straight to 30K. The high of this candle is pretty much right at $30,000. I don't think it can get much closer. The actual high, I know the high on Coinbase was 30,000 to up. Here it is. Just the same, you can see the high price right here. If we go to this candle, $30,000 to the penny. So that tells you that there are so many sell orders up there, and by the time price rises up to those key levels, the buyers are exhausted, and nobody wants to buy after it's pumped that far, or at least significantly less people. And there's tons of sellers, people who are willing to sell at these levels and limit order, sell orders. But what happened? We wicked back below our support resistance flip here, and now, if this was a weaker push to the upside, we had a clear break of structure before we came up and pumped, and then we did get our move. People, this is neutral territory. People are super bullish obviously on the idea of an ETF, given exactly what occurred on the fake news. And people are obviously bearish because of the high potential to put in a right shoulder here, where you would expect to be tapping out in the 29K, 30K area, which is exactly what we did. 30K to the dollar, rejected, and then what do we got here? We have a bearish retest back inside our range. Price came, wicked back down, and what do we got here? Swing failure. We got a wick to the downside, engulfing candle. So as such, I'm looking to trade this to the short side, and what do we got here? We have a fair value gap on the smaller time frame down here, and if we were to grab our Fibonacci retrace tool, go from swing low down to, or swing high down to our swing low, what do we have here? The golden pocket from swing low to swing high. I'm not counting this wick. I mean, if we want to count this wick, we're in the golden pocket much sooner. Right there. I'm just considering the close price. The close price is typically the most accurate. The close price doesn't take into account scam wicks, So let's put her on the close. And it puts that golden pocket right in our fair value gap there. And right at our support and resistance level, we got obvious divergence, and your oscillators and your indicators are going to be messed up from this wick here, but so what? And on your daily, you've also got, you had bearish divergence just going from the first top to the second top, let alone this third wick. But what is daily swing failure pattern going to bring? Is it going to bring just a return to the bottom of the range, to this 25,800, 25K, 25, 26K area, where you're looking for long trades here and looking for short trades up there? Well, or is it going to cause us to chop around here a little bit, and then we come down to some of our lower levels? If you look back at our video, probably 2 or 3 videos ago, we have this Bitcoin macro volume level. where we're showing this next, high volume level to the downside is about 22,850, 2,300. And if we remain bullish to the upside, we're looking at a push up to 39K, So either the swing failure pattern is bringing us down back to our value area high. Here we got this range, and here's the significant volume inside. Here's one pump, here's two pumps, so you got an A, B, C. Then we have fallen down to the bottom here, but we haven't even broken support. We haven't broken trend. We do have this weekly trigger wave, but if you follow the trend of this down, we would be expecting this to get clipped off here, and either we reject right now, and the move that I just explained and that this latest chart on actually plays out. We can just go back to our regular chart. If we want price down at 23,000, we need this to actually play out, and then come back up, come back down to the bottom, and then maybe come up 50% of the way, which would be right here, bearishly reject, lose this range, bearishly retest it, and then we can talk about 23,000. But for now, we are still in an uptrend. Look at this nice curvature in the price action. We're still moving to the upside. So, until some of that gets invalidated, we could consider this a little trigger wave to the downside here on the daily. And we definitely got divergence from this top to this top, and now we're going to definitely get some divergence on the third top. But, if you look back at some of our big pumps, you get these things can just ride the top and price can just keep on a ripping. If there's enough fuel in the tank, that is exactly what will probably happen. But hey, that's all I got for today. If you like the content and the way that we view the market, like, share, and subscribe. Maybe come over and visit us in the Discord. There is a link in the description doing a AMA and live charting. Just a nightly call at 8 p.m. Central. Anybody's welcome. Just come into Discord. To ask whatever question you want. We can share our screens. It's just like being live on YouTube, but much more freedom and privacy. But if you like that content, come on over, check us out, or check us out on TradingView at CryptoFile 622. And until then, trade well.